South Africa is grappling with a devastating corruption crisis. Billions of rands, meant for essential services and infrastructure, have been siphoned off through intricate webs of deceit. This betrayal of public trust has crippled vital institutions. It has left citizens disillusioned and deprived of basic necessities. The scale of the problem is immense. Investigations into state-owned enterprises alone have uncovered over 7 billion rands, around $7 billion in suspected fraud and malfeasance. This is not just about missing money, it's about the erosion of hope. It's about the shattered dreams of millions who aspire to a better future. The impact of corruption is felt most acutely by the most vulnerable in society. Hospitals lack essential equipment, schools crumble, public transport systems are plagued by inefficiencies and delays. The consequences are dire. This crisis of accountability has shaken the nation to its core. It has eroded trust in the government and its ability to serve the people. The fight against corruption is not just a legal battle, it is a fight for the soul of South Africa. It is a fight that demands unwavering commitment from all sectors of society. The path to recovery will be long and arduous. However, by confronting the scourge of corruption head-on, South Africa can begin to heal and rebuild. It can reclaim its promise of a just and equitable society for all its citizens. The time for action is now. State-owned enterprises, once envisioned as engines of economic growth, have become symbols of endemic corruption. These vital entities, responsible for crucial services like electricity, transportation, and arms manufacturing, have been brought to their knees by mismanagement, graft, and outright looting. The Passenger Rail Agency of South Africa, tasked with providing affordable rail transport, has been particularly hard hit. A shocking scheme involving over 1,200 ghost employees drained 540 million rands from the agency's coffers. Contracts inflated to exorbitant amounts were awarded without proper procurement processes. This blatant disregard for accountability has left the rail network in a state of disrepair. Commuters face daily delays, cancellations, and unsafe conditions. The once reliable mode of transport has become a source of frustration and despair. Eskom, the national power utility, paints an equally grim picture. Years of corruption and mismanagement have crippled its ability to provide reliable electricity. This has resulted in crippling load shedding, plunging the nation into darkness for hours on end. Businesses are forced to close, jobs are lost, the economy grinds to a halt. The consequences of this mismanagement are far-reaching. They threaten the very fabric of South African society. The stories of PRASA and Eskom stand as stark reminders of the devastating impact of unchecked corruption. Urgent reforms are needed to restore accountability, transparency, and efficiency within these vital institutions. Failure to act will have catastrophic consequences for the nation and its people. The presidency of Jacob Zuma, from 2009 to 2018, marked a particularly dark chapter in South Africa's fight against corruption. Zuma's tenure was marred by a seemingly endless string of scandals. These allegations implicated him and his close associates in a complex web of patronage and illicit enrichment. One of the most egregious examples was the Nkandla homestead upgrades. Public funds amounting to millions of rands were used to finance lavish improvements to Zuma's private residence. This included a swimming pool, amphitheater, and cattle kraal, all under the guise of security upgrades. The Constitutional Court ruled that Zuma had failed to uphold the country's constitution. He was ordered to repay a portion of the public funds used for the upgrades. Beyond Nkandla, Zuma's presidency was plagued by allegations of state capture. This involved the Gupta family, wealthy business associates of Zuma, allegedly wielding undue influence over government appointments, contracts, and even policy decisions. The Guptas, accused of leveraging their relationship with Zuma for personal gain, became synonymous with high-level corruption in South Africa. Their alleged influence extended to key sectors such as mining, energy, and media. The Zuma years left an indelible stain on South Africa's reputation. They eroded public trust in the government and its institutions. The legacy of this period serves as a stark warning against the corrosive effects of unchecked power and the urgent need for accountability at the highest levels. South Africa's corruption crisis has not gone unnoticed on the international stage. Governments, organizations, and investors have expressed growing concern over the rampant graft and its impact on the country's stability and economic prospects. The United States, a key trading partner, has been particularly vocal in its criticism. Reports have surfaced of potential U.S. sanctions targeting individuals and entities implicated in corruption. These sanctions could have significant economic and political ramifications for South Africa. Beyond sanctions, the country's reputation has suffered a severe blow. International investors are wary of engaging in an environment where corruption thrives. Despite the challenges, there are glimmers of hope. Civil society organizations, investigative journalists, and ordinary citizens are raising their voices. They demand accountability and an end to impunity. The fight against corruption is a marathon, not a sprint. It requires sustained effort, unwavering commitment, and a collective refusal to accept corruption as the norm. South Africa stands at a crossroads. The path forward requires decisive action, transparency, and a renewed commitment to the rule of law. Only then can the country begin to heal the wounds of corruption and reclaim its promise of a brighter future.